Well. Welcome to another shiny episode.
Shiny.
Yes,
RyCanTopMyKnee.
shine.
รายการต่อไปนี้
I'm Kevin.
And I'm Jonathan, and we are a boys love podcast that talks about our favorite shows and all the press and mess around them.
And talk about press and mess, but less mess, a lot of press. I am pressed because I love me some Poet. You know I do.
Oh, you do love
We saw
you
him
some
shining and glistening like some oily grilled meat on a hot summer day, just scrumptious, sizzling. He wasn't naked yet, but
Ooh,
maybe in a few
Who
episodes.
said he would be?
But
Who said that?
we know that it's beyond cloud.
True.
We know this. It's beyond cloud. Somebody gonna be naked, if not
Hey, he
everybody.
did show a little skin this episode. I don't know.
Maybe we might see a mushroom head.
Excuse you.
Again.
No.
Again.
No.
Again. You don't think we will?
I mean, I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to it.
I mean, we saw it in 4 minutes. I was going to say, we saw it in 4 minutes, so why would we not see it again?
True. Maybe they might just level up every single time. Maybe we might see some. Let me stop.
Oh, Lord. Anyway, you know what? It is. We need to get some word on the tweet. Let's get to that right quick.
Okay, word on the tweet. Things happened last week or over the weekend, or we'll see. So we just talked about this.
We sure did.
Soulmate, the BL with your man, your favorite K-pop man. Is he your bias? And
actually one of mine. My other one was Kim Hyung Jung, but I had to retire him because he was, he was hitting his They had a whole domestic thing that happened with him and his then girlfriend at the time. So
okay, never mind.
Yeah, I had to drop him. But Taecyeon never had that. He never had that. So
well, what he's not having is this show coming out on Netflix. Cause where is it? It said August,
child.
And now everyone's like, "Where's the Netflix show in August?"
Yeah, and it wasn't on the lineup.
Yeah, it wasn't on the lineup.
It wasn't.
So, is it getting delayed? Is it just happening later this year now? What's going on?
So I went ahead and asked someone that I know that has worked at Netflix and still connects with those at Netflix because of the projects that they're a part of and all of that. They live in LA. One day I'll have you meet them. They're fun. But I digress. So I texted them and I said, I have a question for you. How do you find out the date of when a show is going to be released on Netflix? Like, general question, but then of course I went into details about Soulmate because I needed to know.
Yeah.
And they said, sometimes they hold the dates due to distribution issues and dubbing. Normally they will announce it when they put out the trailer. Now note, there's not been a trailer for this show yet.
True.
But there's been a teaser, but not a trailer. And the teaser came out last year. And the teaser was literally like 10 seconds.
So this can still be maybe later this year? If we're still waiting on a trailer, a full trailer?
That is possible.
Does Netflix drop trailers for these kind of mini shows? Do they
usually would have some. They do. They're usually on YouTube. I just remember that. We just never watch them because they just put them on their YouTube channel. They don't really put them on Netflix. Or what they would do is if you subscribe to Netflix in the email, you will see a trailer and what's coming out.
I see.
Right. So they also went on to say that if there's not an official trailer, it's probably going to be a few more months. Once the trailer hits, that normally means it's at least coming within the year or early the next year.
Wow. No.
Right. Now, we have heard over and over again, it was coming out this year as of last year. And we also heard literally only a few weeks ago that it was coming out this month.
August.
It is August.
Crickets.
No sign.
Crickets.
So, based on what my friend said, who is attached, well, has been attached to Netflix. Now they do other things, but they still know people over there and all of
Yeah.
that. Um,
Might be coming
it,
fall or beginning of
it
next
might
year.
be fall or early next year. If we don't see a trailer this month, who knows? And I think that might be similar for The Boyfriend, because similarly with The Boyfriend, we only got a teaser, which was what, late last year? We got a teaser for season 2.
It was like right after season 1 ended. They did like a bunch of all those like post show stuff, and then they dropped a little like image that was like,
Yeah. It
"We'll be
was
coming
like
back."
barely a
Yeah.
teaser. It was like a half tease,
I'm
know.
thinking, when
Like
did we get the Boyfriend trailer? Was it? I feel like it was like really, like it was like a month or two before the show. Like it was like a month before
I
the
think it
show,
was even less than a month
right? It was
before.
like
I
really
want to say it
fast.
came out in like June, and then later the show just
Yeah.
dropped, you know. So I don't know. But we have only gotten the teaser for that and still no dates other than they said this year.
Well, maybe they're re-editing it to make it not a BL and more of a bromance, which will be sad. Um,
For Soulmate, you think?
I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. It can be anything. I hope it's. I
It
hope
could be
it's
anything.
just literally
It
like
could
dubbing
be.
and translation issues, right, or something.
I'm hoping it is that too. If it is more than that, that would be that means it's gonna take a really long time. I'm hoping it's really just dubbing and yeah,
And yeah.
translation. Because that's usually not too big. So but we will see.
Whew.
Well, what else is going on, child?
Ooh, this next thing really made some noise on Twitter, on the BL social media.
Mm. Mm.
So our favorite little short king, CEO of GMMTV, Pita, he I don't know if this was like an interview or like explaining to someone, but he was
Mm-hmm.
explaining that BL series like are no longer like measured by like traditional like TV show ratings, like episode ratings. Like everything now is really just marked by social media engagement and hashtags. And that like engagement is like the one thing that can really boost an actor's career, and
Mm-hmm.
even help them do more in-person events and brand deals. So like everything
Mm-hmm.
relies on literally like the fans. He's putting it on the fans to like really be actively tweeting and actively engaging online, and it's like, what do you think of it? We got some thoughts
Mm-hmm.
on this.
We do. Um, First of all, we already know that the fans, you got a few different kinds of fans,
Mm-hmm.
right? And y'all comment in Discord or on the post of this or whatever about this. But if you think there are other categories of fans, you have the obsessed fans who are almost as bad as anti-fans, but they're the ones who like stalk and all of that, regardless of the quality of the actor, right? Like the actor could be complete, like needs serious workshopping, and they will still praise this actor as if he is like Oscar award
Mm-hmm.
winning
Yeah,
talent.
well, some people are there
Okay,
for the actors. Yeah.
are there for the
Mm-hmm.
actors, not for anything else. And they're the ones who go around, finding out their address and stuff like that,
Mm-hmm.
right? Then you have the anti fans, and you know what they like. So we're not going to get into that yet. Then you have the people who actually are like us, who are critical of everything, right? Like we're fans, but we're going to be
Mm-hmm.
honest. Like we're not going to, even if we have a bias, even our bias, we're going to be critical about, because if they're wrong, and if they're right. Um, so
And then even below that, you have
because you
like the
have such a
casual listener, the
yeah, and
casual
then you have the
watcher, who will
casual
drop in and
casual
out.
watcher.
Honestly.
Right. Honestly. So if you were to do it based on fan engagement, right? You have people who don't look at things critically. Okay? Like not trying to be shady, just being very real. And if you base it on that, people are just going to be promoting people who actually need to do better and instead they're promoting them because they look good,
Yup, it's gonna
or
be.
because they like the fact that they wore makeup one day, or the fact that they like the shirt they had on that day. Like
I don't want just
it's
pretty
not
models on screen
right,
doing just walking around and saying, I don't know. I need
right,
story. I need acting.
right.
I need the full package. I don't just want pretty
Okay,
boys on my GMMTV screen.
exactly.
And
You need like looks are great.
yeah,
Like
looks are
we know that's a
great,
priority in Thailand,
but I need
right?
also chemistry
But
between the couple. I mean, like
right, there has to be chemistry. There has to be talent. Okay, like you have to be a star, not
the script
starless.
also has to be worthy. It
Exactly.
can't be Chat GPT.
It can't be my stubborn. Like
GMMTV
as
would never
much as
go there,
we
but like, it can't
right, they
be My
well
Tooth Your Love. Sweet Tooth Your Love, right? Sweet Tooth Your Love. It wasn't. I think
the
that's
it
where
was
this
a
conversation spawned from, because that
mm,
show, people saw the first episode, they didn't really like it. Some fans were like,
mhm,
"We should just keep watching it for Mark Ohm,"
Mark
and
Ohm.
then the other
Mhm.
half of the BL fans were like, "It's just not good though. Like, why are we giving this engagement?" And that's where the show like got cut an episode because there just wasn't
Mm,
enough engagement, and which is weird because like on GMM side, like if the show's not doing, I don't know, you need to change something up, not cut an episode. You need
right.
to.
It sounds like what that show was just not it.
It
Like
needed
something either with
some
the
re-editing.
script,
It needed some, you know.
or maybe sometimes you need to throw the show away,
Oh,
and it doesn't mean that the ship is bad. And this
yeah.
is the same
It's
thing
not
that we
about the
said
ship is
about,
bad. It was the script for that. Like it
right.
wasn't.
It's the same thing we said about My Golden Blood. Like, the show was bad. Doesn't mean Josh Gowen were
I mean, and
bad.
then that's the
It means the
opposite,
show was
where
bad.
it's like
Right.
that show got so much engagement because people loved the
Right.
boys and they just watched it for the boys, and that's why they have like a
Right.
fan com coming up. They have so many events happening. Like that show was low key a flop, plot wise, like a flop.
Right.
Like socially, everyone's like that wasn't a good show, but
Right.
like to them, like the numbers were bigger than Sweet Tooth, your dentist, my dentist, whatever.
Right. And that's why you can't use, and I think we need more clarification from Pita, because you can't use solely social engagement, social media engagement as a measure. Like, I think that with traditional ratings together is a good measure, right? Because then you can make a more critical
Mm-hmm.
analysis of a show. Because yes, you want fans to like it, but you also want it to be a good
Yeah,
product.
don't you?
And then
Aren't they? Don't
also
they
this
want
harms
awards? Don't they want like
right.
I don't know? Yeah, don't they want to
And
break
this is
into the
why
mainstream Thai media too, or they don't care? They
right.
just want their little bubble of.
Well, I mean, we already know BL in Thailand is pretty much mainstream
I know,
anyway. Like it's
but
very mainstream. But I think also we need to consider that there are shows that are done beautifully, like Petrichor
Joe
and like
Boys,
Spare Me Your
Joe
Mercy,
Boys,
and well, Gel Boys is not underrated. I'm thinking of shows that are underrated,
underrated. All right.
right? Yeah, and Petrichor is a GL, and we know that that's something that people are getting more into now. And you know, you don't hear a lot about Spare Me Your Mercy and Petrichor in the same way that you hear about My Golden
It's
Blood.
not. Yeah, it's not touching the general youth in the same way.
Right. Yeah. And those are shows that are
Because those
done
are like
beautifully
more.
with
I guess. Yeah. What's the
I
audience
mean,
for that?
granted they're
They're
grittier
yeah, gritty stories
stories,
for like
like
an older young adult
right,
audience, maybe.
but they're done so well. The acting's really good. You can tell money has been put into it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I even think like for even Dead Friend Forever, which is a Beyond Cloud show, which again we're gonna talk about Shine later, right?
Yes.
But we know that that show I don't think got as much um traction
It's
as
because it
it could
was
have
like a
gotten.
thriller.
I mean, it was
It
really
was a
dark.
thriller.
Okay,
People
so
weren't.
I know I'm bringing up a lot of dark
It
shows,
wasn't
but
too heavy on the
the,
BL side. Like there was a
right,
BL
and
element to it,
there
but
was definitely a BL, but there was a lot of other stuff
yeah,
happening
people were
too.
fighting for their
But even
lives.
then, but my point is, these are shows that are done very well with a very well thought out script, with great cinematography, with amazing acting, and then you have shows like My Golden Blood. where the acting was great. The plot, the world building needed some help.
And they didn't
So
want to give it that help because they only cared
yeah, or
about the Josh
let's
Godwin
even talk about
hashtags
like
on Twitter.
right, that's all they wanted. Or let's even do one that's more comparable, right? Like The Next Prince, which just ended, which we'll talk about later.
Mm-hmm.
Similarly, that show in the vein of, you needed to build a world and all of that. They did great world building within the first episode, and the acting was also good. And also the show didn't drag, which we can't say that about Cutie Pie.
Ooh,
But
true,
like
true.
right, the show didn't drag, So if that one got the same level of engagement because it's, Z Nunu,
Oh, the Next Prince is
but
huge in Thailand. It's huge.
yeah, huge.
But was it?
But also, it was just a better show, even though it's like more light compared to some of the other
Mm-hmm.
shows that I brought up that are underrated. That makes sense. Like, that's where you see, okay, the ratings are good, the social media engagement is good. That's how you can use a measure because you want to make sure the fans like it because they're the ones spending money on stuff, right?
I mean, the fans
But
got some
also, you
critiques
need it
on
to be a
that
good
too. The
product.
fans got some
Yeah.
critiques, which we'll talk later about that. But,
Yeah, we'll talk. I mean, yeah, there's stuff to say about The Next Prince for sure, but we'll get into anyway. Anywho, moving
anywho, it could
on.
be a whole podcast episode on just what he said on that whole statement. Like, there's so many
Sure
examples.
could. Sure
But
could.
moving on, Bangkok Boys got announced for season 2, which I still haven't seen season 1. I haven't
Oh,
finished.
you haven't
I haven't
finished it because you started it.
Yeah, I haven't finished.
I finished it, as you know.
As you know, as we all know. I'm down for it. I haven't finished it, so I don't know what's the cliffhanger that'll carry us over, but I'm ready.
Um, Jonathan, you make this really hard because
No spoilers.
I
No spoilers.
that's right. I'm just gonna say this.
Yeah.
I think that they need to leave Bangkok Boys alone and leave it where it's at.
Oh,
And I'm not saying that in a bad way. I'm saying in the sense that
it's getting dragged out.
with Pit, for example, let's say with Pit Babe, it was the same thing. The first season ended where it needed to end.
Yeah.
And it was good. The second season, which I still haven't finished yet, but so far, it's like, yeah, it's not bad, but did we need it?
No.
No. And I think it's gonna be the same reaction for the season 2 of Bangkok Boys. Like, we're gonna watch it, we'll probably enjoy it, but then we'll also be like, I don't think this was necessary.
I mean,
You know?
not everything needs a season 2.
Not everything
Unless
needs a
there's
season
like
2,
a
and not
whole
everything
side
deserves a
story,
season
unless
2.
we're getting a time jump, like not everything needs a season 2.
Yeah, I think at
Maybe like a
best what
special
they could have done,
episode,
right, a special
a
episode, maybe a
movie.
movie.
Bring back
Right.
little movie
That would have been
sequels.
fine.
No one does movie sequels anymore.
Except for Japan.
Yeah.
And that's usually like a third season, like to close everything
Yeah,
together.
like a really successful third season or something like that.
Yeah. What else has happened?
All right, this last
Speaking
thing.
of Japan.
Speaking of Japan, whoa, the last thing. I forgot this was happening. Stir that tea, mama. Stir that coffee.
Right.
So Kenshin, we all remember Kenshin from our youth. He was in a scandal that happened after a fan meet in Hong Kong, where
That was last year or earlier this year?
that was earlier this year. That was like
right?
January
Yeah.
or February.
Yeah, something like that. I think it was on our first couple of episodes of the season of the
Yeah,
podcast.
I really love this show, and I just got a friend into BL, and they started with our youth, and I was like, I was trying not to say anything. I was like, watch the show, binge it fast, binge it, so we could talk about it. And
Right.
unfortunately, he like found out about the scandal midway through, and he was like, "Oh, this kind of ruined the show for me." And I was like, I was like, "Why are you being nosy? Why are you looking at things?" Because he was trying to follow Kenshin on Instagram and saw the whole.
Oh
thing.
no! And it's such a good show.
Such a good show.
Such a good show.
But yes, so we got some more details about the case. So the whole thing was about that his translator, they were at a dinner after a fan meet, and he was sitting next to his translator, and the translator reported that he touched her like 5 or 6 times in the span of like 15 minutes, like on the leg. So let me bring up the documents. I was like, I don't know
Oh,
how deep we should get into this because we have all the details apparently.
yeah, we have the tea.
But I guess like he was obviously trying to hit on her, and she was not feeling
Mm,
it. He was like, "You want to go to the bathroom? You know what that means?" And she's like, "Yeah, no, I
mm,
don't want to. Like, I know what that means. No, I don't want to." And then
right.
she like got up to go like go to some other room or something, and he like followed her, and then again was like
Mm,
trying to hit on her, and he
mm-hmm.
was like, "Do you have a boyfriend?" And she was like, "I do," and he was like, "Oh, my bad. Like, forget none of this happened." But he was like, "Oh, are you gonna marry him? Like, are you engaged?" And I was like, "All
Oh
right, why are you pressing? You got a
no.
homework." Um,
Oh, not the press and press. Oh, that's pressy
but then I
messy.
guess
Oh
after that he was like,
no.
"All right, like she has a man. Like, I'll leave it alone." And then they sat back down, and then um, like other people at the table like didn't notice anything about any of this. Like, and they thought
Mm,
they had like a lovely rest of the dinner, but after the dinner is when she reported to the police, all this happened then, and that he like harassed her.
mm.
And so um yeah, we'll find out on August 13th what the verdict is.
Verdict. Yeah, because the trial just
Yeah, the trial
happened.
just
That's
happened
what you
Saturday,
said.
so we'll find out on August 13th, which is coming up soon. But I mean, I don't know. I don't know who to believe. Is this just a miscommunication? Is this misunderstanding? Is this truly unwanted? Is this truly inappropriate? I don't know. I think it
It's
is. Um,
I think regardless,
mhm.
if let's even say this is only half of the interpretation, right? Um, the point is he made unsolicited
Mhm.
advances, and that's not cool.
Wow, while
And
someone's working. Like this is like
while
an after
working,
dinner thing, but you're still
that
helping
is still professional. You're
translating.
still on the
Yeah, you're still on
clock.
the
You're
clock. This
still on the
girl is on the
clock.
clock at least.
Right. I mean, he's on the clock too because you have to
Yeah, you're
remember, we
still
already
showing
know this.
face even.
If you are an actor, okay, and you are doing something that is work related, like again, this is an after work dinner, you're technically still should be on your best well, you should be on your best behavior,
Mhm.
period, right? But even more so when you're in a room with other people and this is in a professional environment, even if it's after and y'all are drinking or whatever, you're still expected to have at least some form of decorum,
Mhm.
right? So I I'm not going to blame it on youth because he's not that young. He's in his 20s, okay? And I'm pretty sure his management had coached him on what things you can and cannot do. And even if he was a little inebriated, you have to be responsible.
Especially
And
to
right.
your translator. Like I know you got
Right.
close to her cuz she's been helping you the past day or two or whatever, but that's inappropriate
It's inappropriate.
cuz she's
It is
close to
very
you for a reason
inappropriate.
cuz she's working. Like
Right.
she
And
would
that's
not
it.
talk to you otherwise, or you don't know her
Right.
situation, or I don't know.
Right. And you can't be, trying to hit on your translator because again, this is why I think ethically I would not date anyone I work with
Mm.
or that's within the field I'm in. It's a little weird, you know, because then it's a mess. And in this case, here you go. Now he's in a mess where it's in legal trouble
Legal
and
trouble, and he lost his agency, got kicked out of his boy
mm-hmm.
group. Like he lost
Mm-hmm.
everything.
Yeah.
I mean, is it?
And
We'll find out the verdict on the 13th, but like,
right.
was it all worth it? I mean, was it deserved? The verdict was it deserved? We'll see. Right.
We'll see what the verdict is. I feel badly for him, but more so for homegirl. That took her a lot of courage to go up and say that.
Yeah,
You
because she
know,
can easily just be like dismissed or like,
right. She could have easily been dismissed,
um,
but also like
mhm.
luckily he is young enough where if he shows again, he's also in Japan where they don't once that kind of out, it's really hard to get back up from that. But I think if he goes ahead and fully shows remorse and takes responsibility for his actions, whatever the verdict is, I think that he can overcome this, and maybe in the next 5 to 10 years, he could be back in entertainment. Maybe, but it's going to take a lot of
Mm.
time, and it's going to be him really, really working hard to do better. So, yeah, really sad
Really,
situation. Again, I'm more sad for her than him.
I'm sad
But
for, yeah,
and I'm more sad for his co-star from the show
that
because
too.
now,
Yeah, that boy
yeah,
still.
now he's attached to a show that was really good that now has kind of a dark cloud around it. So,
Yeah, it's not winning no awards now. It's not up for no
yeah,
nominations.
because no one wants to attach themselves to that show when someone has done something like this. And again, I think this is why, at least as we've learned in East Asia, particularly Japan and Korea,
Mm-hmm.
when you are working on a show, your actions affect everybody on the show.
Everybody.
Like we know here in the United States, if one person is a douchebag, he's considered a douchebag. It doesn't necessarily harm the show,
Mm-hmm.
but it's more of like that man's a douche. We everyone X's him out and that's it. And everyone goes about their
And then
day.
sometimes the
And
show will
this
just recast him for season 2 or something.
right. And actually, you know what? Low key in Korea, they're kind of doing that lately
Oh,
because they did that with another show called
they
Hellbound,
yeah,
which
recasting
yeah, with UIN, after the mess that he was in. So they could always I think in Japan they're less likely to do that. They're just like, well, now everybody's gonna look bad.
they're
So
like throw the whole shit out. Throw the whole shit out.
right.
Um,
So anyway, this is
Anywho,
why you can't do stuff like this. You're ruining it for everybody. So and with that said, because we're gonna go to a
we
lighter
gotta go
note,
to
I
Orso.
guess.
We too deep into the news. All
We
right,
too
all right.
deep into this. We got a lot of news, but we have some shows that we want to talk about. So let's get into our shows this week.
Yes,
Jonathan,
yes.
what is your show this week?
You already know. You already know. You already know.
Again.
And it will be
Again.
for the next like 5 or 6 weeks.
You know what? Okay, should we tell people that we're going to be doing a bonus episode on this show, like reviewing it?
I think they know we are having a Revenge Love bonus episode.
Yes, we're still working on our one for the fan meet
I'm so
review.
sorry. It'll
That's
come out this
coming.
week.
It's
I'm so
coming.
sorry. It's been
It's
busy.
coming. We
It's been
promise.
busy. But
But we are planning a really, really supercharged, in-depth bonus episode
for once the
or
show
two
ends, which I don't want it
for
to
Revenge
end.
Love.
But
Right.
for this week, it is my show of the week. I just love the
Yes.
messy Ets drama coming back. You're caught up, right?
I am caught up because I watched what was
It was
that
like
last 2
15,
episodes,
16.
15 and
Yeah.
16? Yeah.
It's
Okay.
so good. I
It is.
love where. I mean, I don't love the miscommunication trope that's happening with, no one wants to talk
And
about
I'm
their
low
real
key kind of
feelings.
tired of that because I feel as if y'all
This
some of these
mom,
sometimes I'm like y'all a little too grown.
I mean, this mom fucking it up too, but I would honestly I'd be like, sorry, I'm not gonna hide that you have an illness from your son, I'm gonna go tell him because it's fucking up
Right.
my relationship and my trust with him.
Right.
Especially when my ex is trying to snake himself back into my life.
A demon twink.
Demon
A
twink.
demon twink.
Another demon twink.
Demon twink.
Yeah, Wang Shuo in the show. First of all, this actor is gorgeous.
Mm,
The brother is gorgeous too.
the brother.
I'm
is
like,
fine.
why everyone fine? Hold on.
I was literally I don't know who I was talking to on Discord, but when he was playing basketball,
Baby.
anytime those arms went up.
Oh, she got thirsty. She was trying to take a sip.
I was trying to take a peek.
Hey, I think the show, yeah, it's still on my mind. It's on everyone's mind Monday, Tuesdays.
It's
Just,
It's on people's minds. We didn't even talk about the craziness around the show
Oh,
again.
yeah,
That happened this week. There was more, but it seems as if we gotten so burnt out with people acting like out of pocket around the show.
people were acting out of pocket about Wang Shuo's character in the show, and so they cut
there
him
was
out.
not only that.
They cut him out of like the BTS. Like he's not gonna be in like the behind the scenes stuff that they're posting.
Really? I forgot. I didn't hear that
Yeah.
one.
I guess people are just, I don't know. I think because he comes
Like
from
they
like
hate
a
that character
no,
so
I think he
much.
comes from like a bigger company, so they're like he's like promoting himself more. I don't know, something about that. So they're like cutting him out of the BTS and just focusing on the main couple.
Okay.
Which is
Well, I mean, there was more people stalking one of the actors again.
it'll never end, but
I'm so tired of them. I'm really tired. Like low key, I'm tired because it's we're recording early,
that too.
but also I am. I'm beyond exhausted. Like they just don't know when to stop,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been literally every week since the show has been out. Every week. But I love this show.
Love this show.
Not in an obsessive way.
Maybe I'm in it instead. All right, let me not.
Well, you're obsessive, but you have boundaries. You know where to
I'm not
stop.
flying to
Okay.
China to go stalk these
You're
boys on a
not
plane.
buying a plane ticket on the same flight that one of the actors are on, so you can be on the same plane with them. Nor are you buying the seat next to them. Nor are you trying to get in the elevator with them and trying to bypass their
I'm not
bodyguards.
bopping him on the head with my phone.
You're not bopping them on the head with your phone. And y'all, this is all the stuff that has happened in the past several
Yeah.
weeks, literally. And if you've been listening to the podcast, you've heard all the mess, or at least part of it, because apparently there's a lot more that we haven't even talked about. But yeah, the show is good though. I would say y'all just need to learn how to
talk it
not
out.
be.
Fuck it
Yeah, and
out.
you
Fuck it
know
out.
what? No, what you need to do, or I was gonna say is like the fans, what they need to
Oh, the
do
fans need to
is
go touch grass.
they need to right touch grass and only watch them on your screen. Don't go to
Touch
anything where they
grass
add.
and get a job.
Yes, get a
Get a
job.
job. Suck a dick.
Right.
Um,
But wait,
what?
I forgot. So there's a friend of mine that's been watching Revenge Love.
Mm-hmm.
They're not on Discord. I've been telling them they need to get into it because there's a lot to talk about because they telling me everything. And I'm like, you need to get on Discord because there's a lot of people talking about the show. But so for context, my friend is Chinese American, and still connected to China because he has family there and all of
Mm-hmm.
that. And he's also very familiar with the Chinese fan culture. And allegedly, he suggests that most of these people that are doing crazy stuff like this, because there's also additional things where people are throwing homophobic slurs at both of the main actors, which is wild. But so there are groups of anti-fans who are very
Mm-hmm.
violent, and he believes most of these are anti-fans that are paid under the table by the Chinese government because this BL has gotten so popular.
Ooh, allegedly.
We don't know if it's true or not.
Allegedly.
The Chinese government has done stuff like this before, but there's no clear evidence of this. But that's what he believes, and that's what he
I
told
mean,
me.
some of
But
these
that
people
would
are like
be
crazy. Like they're
yeah, because they're
screaming the
just
top
so
of their lungs. Like,
crazy. Yeah,
how can you be that pressed over? I don't know.
I
Something
guess if
that's
the
none of
money
your
is good,
business.
yeah, if the money is that good, maybe you would be extra
If the
pressed. I
money
don't
is
know, but I
right,
do
if the
think
check clears.
if the check clears, and clearly the check is clearing, if that's the case, So
All
I don't know.
allegedly, y'all. We're
Again,
not.
this is a
Um,
legend. You're right. So,
but
and allegedly, my show this week
yes, allegedly, what is your show
is
this week, Kevin? Let's hurry up.
well, it's not allegedly, it's true. It's my more of Rati.
I'm behind
I
like
love.
4 episodes right now.
You need to get into it and get caught up. I love this show. I love Great End.
Yes.
Like honestly, they have slowly becoming one of my top like tie ships. They have great
And they're
chemistry.
grown men.
Great
Grown men.
yes, and Great looks so good.
Ooh,
Like, oh my gosh. Like his name is so fitting,
he looked great.
And yeah, he looks great. And I don't want to spoil the show too much.
Mhm.
That's why I need you to catch
But
up
are
as
we getting
well.
into messy family relations right now?
Oh yeah, there's a lot of mess. There's a lot of mess. Like it's some of the mess we expected because again,
The
this show
first 2 episodes
is
was
based
giving
giving what?
curmudgeon old man that was like, "You're just a lowly
Oh,
servant."
he's still around. That uncle is still
Yeah.
around, causing chaos. He's like a clear op, and he's
Mm-hmm.
gotten worse.
But
He's
there's more
gotten much
ops.
worse.
There's more ops now.
There's not more ops. It's just that the main op has gotten worse, and the other op is the grandma. But the grandma is not as bad. Like she's trying to keep up
Uh,
appearances because she's like, we have a family name and all of that.
has
And she was the
kaput
one that, in episode 2 said, the word on the street is that you're an invert.
that you like
So you
that
need to get
booty
married right
inverted, huh?
away. Yeah, so we need to get married right away. You need to get married right away.
Before
So
that
there's
booty
that.
get blasted again.
So there's that
Mm-hmm.
happening. In addition to the uncle being horrible. Like he's hit people, he's grabbed people's hair. Like last time I saw this kind of chaos was in To Sir with Love. So and also on Real Housewives of Atlanta season 6.
Not Real Housewives. Hey, fight,
So that's the
fight.
only time I've seen that much chaos
Bad
in a
Girls
show.
Club baddies,
Yeah,
baddies.
well, it's not to that level, but this is
Yeah.
like classy trashy. That's what it's like. It's giving classy trashy. So,
Speaking of classy,
um,
trashy.
what show you thinking about? We do have some shows that just ended, right? Don't we?
And the first.
Stop.
Speaking of classy, trashy. Ooh. I mean, I have some thoughts.
So, there are 4 shows that just ended. And the first one we're going to talk about is The Next Prince, which you believe is trashy classy?
I this show was
Classy
beautiful. This show
trashy?
was gorgeous. This show was I was so excited for it the first half of the show, eating it up. This show was
Yeah.
my Disney Prince fantasy.
Mm.
And then like maybe like halfway through we kind of just like started losing the plot a little, or it just became something I didn't think it was going to be. Spoilers,
Mm.
spoilers.
Mm-hmm.
For the Next Prince finale. I feel like we just needed more from the other couples. Like it
Absolutely.
started off like kind of like very interesting. We're meeting all these new people. This whole
Mm-hmm.
thing about the competition is happening, is looming.
Mm-hmm.
Um, you see all the couples forming, and then halfway through it just turned into the Z Nunu show, and that's all I really cared about.
Mm.
And then they try to throw in some political stuff, and then it just went
Mm-hmm.
back into the Z Nunu are fucking in the house, they're fucking in the bed. I'm
Mm.
seeing Z's cheats again. I'm seeing his V line again. Um, and then Jimmy and Ohm are getting crumbs. Ned JJ are
Mm.
getting not even crumbs. The plate's empty. The girl, there's
I was
apparently supposed to be a GL ship. I don't think if that was
which
ever
we didn't see
planned.
that come to fruition at
She
all,
yeah,
other than
she didn't
some
have a plate at all.
glances.
Like she was not at the
Yeah,
table. Yeah.
right. I Most of that I agree with you on. Most. Um, I do feel if it mainly became the Z Nunu show, right? I think that was the intention. And I kind of went into the show thinking that's what it was going to be.
Hmm.
I did feel as if that, however, they gave the other couples, especially the GL couple, dust.
Dust.
I feel as if in the last episode they tried to bring some resolve to with Prince Ramen and his consort, I
Yeah.
guess.
I mean, but that
And they kind of did, and I'm like,
people were
okay.
saying like how is he gonna like throw some backstory in his last scene? Um, what was his name? Payatai. He was like, I was
Hmm.
born the son of a politician just to, just to be your consult and take beatings
And
for
we
you.
got
And I was
none
like,
of that
oh, you were born
before
for it,
that
you were bred
episode.
for it, like that's your main purpose in whole
And
life.
we got none of that
And then
backstory.
how are you able to just walk away at the end? I don't know. It was
Right.
confusing.
Yeah. Like it seems as if like I will say I liked everything up until the last 40, 50 minutes of the last episode. Because the last 50 minutes, it was almost as if they were trying to throw all the stuff together, but then also it was slow. Like it was
It made no
just
sense that
it was so dry, and they just wanted to show Z Nunu
they
like
had to have them break up. For what reason? I didn't understand that Z was like, after going through all of this, Charon was like, I can't say I love you because my duty to this castle. And I'm like, I thought you threw that away like a couple episodes ago. Like
yeah,
I
and
thought we forego
already
that when you were locked in the barn, and I still went
I
to
thought we
go.
forgo I thought we threw that away when, Grandpa died.
I mean, Grandpa just
Because he was the main
that
one who
too.
was all about that. He was
Yeah, he was
dead.
dead. Your vow
And
was to him. But I guess
right,
it was
and
to the family
now
name.
yeah, but also like, you know, Prince Cunning's dad has become king, and he already said, I don't care what you
The dad
do
was like,
because I want you to
"Go
be
fuck my
happy.
son."
Yeah, so he's like, he didn't care. So I'm like, I don't understand why you're still trying to keep aligned with these rules when the rules have
I just
changed.
feel like, yeah, that was
Yeah,
his
it didn't
feeling
make
in the
any sense to
beginning, and
me.
then he kind of like, I thought we sorted through that halfway, but
Right.
apparently we didn't, and they had to
Yeah,
bring it back up
and I
again
was
at the
like,
end.
and towards the end, it's like it's already been sorted,
Mm-hmm.
and the current king, who you have allegiance to, doesn't care. So what are you
I mean,
doing?
also the
It
whole
was
new
weird.
king, he won. Okay, so not Charon, Kanin won the competition. His dad
Right.
becomes king,
Yes.
and the Asawatawans get to rule for another 100 years or something. I forgot the lore.
Or wherever, whatever it is, like whatever the reign
Um,
is. Right.
and then this dad's like, "All right, yeah, I'll take every idea you said. Yeah, let's make it a democracy. Really? You're gonna give up
I think
the royal?
I think they're going to be a constitutional
Okay,
monarchy, like the UK. That or like Thailand is a constitutional monarchy. So as in Thailand, Thai folk, please correct us if I'm wrong, because I know it's a constitutional monarchy, but it's different than the one that's in the UK, where the royal family, they do have some power when it comes to making decisions, as in everything is done by an election. Like they have a prime minister, all of that. That's
but the
all
king
done by
has like final
election.
say.
However, but yeah, that the king has a final say. So everyone still has a voice, but it's really up to the king. However, mostly with Thailand so far, anything that people voted on, the king just went along with it. And that was it, except there's been mess with, the now suspended prime minister and all of that, which leads into what we talked about
Hmm,
last
hmm.
week with the whole border dispute with Thailand and Cambodia. That's a whole nother story. So I think with Emily, it's kind of, I think the point of the show, and people might can fight me on this, and I'm
Pollution,
okay with that,
pollution.
is it's meant to be an allegory to the actual Thai government. Because, and I
I
don't know
don't
if you
know.
noticed this with a lot of Thai shows in the past couple of years, but they never talk directly about the king. But they do talk about politics, and they use the shows in order to be political and to make a point. And I think this is the way to do it in a way that you're not directly talking about the king, but you are talking about a monarchy, and being critical of the monarchy.
Hmm.
So I do think that was part of one of the things with the show. Now, other than that, if we're just going to talk about everything else, like you said, it was a Zenunu show.
The Xenu
and
parade.
and I think people who are fans of that ship, which I like the ship, even though I find them very annoying,
They were
but
really good
I
in that
like
show.
the
They were
ship.
really. This was
They were really
yeah.
good in the show because they're both really talented. But if you're going to have a show that focuses on one ship,
And when you have
don't have so many other
don't have all
ships.
these
Like,
couples that we don't get to see them
yeah,
really flourish.
yeah, because we
At least
really
Jimmy
wanted to
Ohm,
see
because we
some of the
saw
other
already
ones.
so much of Jimmy
Yeah,
Ohm, and for it to just flop into nothing.
that was
Um,
really
I mean,
disappointing.
they had like a final scene where they talked about,
Right.
like all we have is all we have are each other.
Mm-hmm.
But still felt like, I don't know. I wanted something more with the
Yeah.
dad, or like a happy moment afterwards, like,
And yeah. I
or
don't think he was ever going to
to
get a
like
happy moment
go
with his
rekindle
dad.
with the rest of the gang. Like no one's friends at the end except for Miss Girl, and and
Yeah.
Kanin.
Or we don't know because low key Prince Ramen I think has respect for Prince Kanin,
Yeah,
right?
but
Because of
I
what
don't think they're
happened
gonna
during the
Kiki in the future.
or maybe they might because it seems as if Prince Ramen made a vow to himself like he's only going to be his dad's son in name and that's it.
Yeah, so he low key
You know.
renounced his own shit too.
Yeah, he did but he didn't.
Yeah,
But with that said, um I like the show. What do we rate it?
I put a 7.5.
I'm also giving it a 7 out of
It
10,
would have been
mainly because
higher
it could have easily been an 8 or a
if they
9.
added like an extra
If
2 episodes and flushed out the rest of the couples. 10 out of 10.
No, they didn't need to add an extra 2 episodes. It was already 14. What they needed to do was that hour and a half episode, they needed to cut out a lot of that Z Nunu stuff and focus on the other
We had to
couples.
get a wedding. We had to, we had to get a proposal. We
There are
had to
certain
get
things they
a
didn't need to do.
set scene. We
They
had to
didn't need to
get.
take like 20 minutes with the sex scene
We
again.
needed
Like they didn't need to
Chakri
do all of that.
being Chakri. Even I'm surprised he's alive. I thought they were gonna kill him off.
Right. They made it look as if that man was going to
He
die.
should have died, Loki.
So,
Um,
no, I would have been sad.
everyone else
because
was
I really
getting
like
one shot,
Shakri.
one kill. Why does he get to live?
Because he's Shakri. We like him.
Nah, you
The
taking a
ones who
bullet
died,
for the
we didn't
crown.
like anyway. It's like,
You
bye.
took a bullet
Good
for the
day.
crown. Bye, girl.
Yeah, he can stay. He was good. We like him. And, we ended up losing the king anyway, who was creating kind of the problems to begin with. So,
He should have been forgiven.
anywho,
Yeah. Anywho, next show.
another show that just ended, which I still have not watched it. No, I actually did watch the second half
Alright.
of the last
Flop
episode, but I
Heart
fell asleep.
Service.
Sweetheart Service.
My sweetheart flop.
No, I'm talking about Sweetheart Service, the Korean
Yeah,
one.
sweetheart flop.
Okay, so
I
so
service my sweetheart poorly. I don't know.
just say Sweetheart Disservice because it sounds a little too much like another show.
Malpractice.
So, so
I got no words.
let's say
Terrible.
this. I fell asleep on the second
Terrible.
half of the last episode. Partly because I was tired, but partly because so I have to rewatch it.
This show never.
But
should
overall,
have
I'm
been
giving
made.
this show a 6 out of 10.
I gave it like a 5.
There we go.
Never should have been made. Should have
Oh!
kept in the DMs.
It started off okay.
No.
Like I was intrigued at first, and then it just kind of
Maybe the first episode intrigued me. After that, everything was downhill.
Yeah,
just
it
kept
kind of like
rolling.
just got kind of stale.
So stale.
If that makes sense. Yeah.
This
And
girl.
I was kind of like, now I'm watching just to kind of see what's gonna
I
happen.
literally just watched just to see because I wasted so much time on it already.
Right. And the whole thing with the girl creating
That
chaos,
girl with
I was
her
like,
creepy
so where'd
face.
she come from?
Everyone was like, she's so creepy. That smile of hers is so creepy.
It
She
is creepy.
masterminding for what? To just be like, all right, I'll leave in the end. What?
Right.
The
It was
brother
really,
having a whole
I
crisis
don't know who wrote
for no
this.
reason.
But all I'm gonna say is, Strongberry,
You can do better.
you can.
You can do better than this.
So it got a 6 out of 10 for me. Like, it wasn't, I watched it. I was okay with it. I liked some of the acting. The cinematography was beautiful.
Mhm.
The script was kind of, needed help.
It needed resuscitation.
The plot needed some service,
Someone service her, please.
Yeah, another show that just ended, My Sweetheart John, which I don't think you really watched.
I saw the first. I saw the opening title sequence and how cheap and poor that looked, and I said no, thank you.
You should have watched the show because actually it was
The way
good.
Saint himself just said, you know what? Maybe I'll stick to being a producer.
He did say that. So that was recent.
Because
He did say that.
probably saw the reaction from everyone and said, "Oh, this didn't hit."
This show got mixed reviews. Because there were people who really liked it. And then there were people who were like, there were some parts of this that could have been done better, right? I'm on the camp that I more liked it. Because it was, out of all the BLs we're watching, it was a pretty like lighthearted story with some heavy parts to it because there was this is why I said you should watch it because it's actually pretty enjoyable. But one thing that was happening throughout this is because they're in a rural town, there's a rivalry between Chief John, who is played by Saint, and the prior chief who was kicked out because he was bad and he was, doing some illegal stuff.
Mm.
So there was that rivalry happening, and a lot of it hinged on the auction of some land. So there was that happening in the background while Yo was being chased by um, a hood rat from from
From
Bangkok,
his
and
hood
that's
rat
why he was out
days,
there.
yes, from his.
Right. And he was really trying to change a new leaf and all of that. And luckily, the hood rat was taken to jail at some point. So I did spoil it, but I think you saw that coming. Um, Overall, you know what? This is a show that I would give a 7 out of 10.
Oh, okay.
It was the script was good. It had good pacing. I really like the chemistry between Saint and Yo, which is why low key I kind of would love to see them in another show, maybe a
Oh.
different kind of show. But also I could see that I think Saint enjoys producing and directing more.
Mm-hmm.
Also, Saint looks really good in this show. Like he really does. And the guy who plays Yo, who I cannot remember his name, but he also looked really good. So there were a lot of good things in the show that I enjoyed.
Mm-hmm.
The grandma was hilarious. Like she was so
We
funny.
love a kooky grandma.
Um, yeah, she was feisty. We love it. But yeah, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. It was a good story. There were certain things that I think could have been done better. I know you had an issue with those opening credits, but I guess they wanted it to look cartoony because the show was like somewhat of a dramedy. So because it had some funny moments, but it also had like some things that were
Mm-hmm.
serious, like there were guns being pulled out, like people were hood.
Well, whenever they
So
go out to the country, people are whipping out them guns.
yeah, and they got people chasing them from the city into, there was a
People are
lot going
hood.
on.
Yeah, okay.
Yes.
Saint Poom. Saint Poom.
Yes. Last but not least is We Are Brothers, which that is the Burmese BL
Mm-hmm.
that just ended. They did 2 episodes a week. So you can binge it. It's on YouTube. Um,
What's your
hmm.
overall rating?
Generously, I'm giving it a 7 out of 10.
Really?
And
Everything's getting
here's why.
sevens across the board.
Yeah, it's getting sevens. Here's why. And low key, if this was Thai, it probably would have gotten a 5 or 6.
No spoilers. No
Um,
spoilers. No spoilers. Because I might watch
I'm
it.
gonna say this. There were I can't determine if there were missed opportunities because this is Burmese or because of the writers.
Maybe budget.
And I'm gonna leave it at
Oh.
that. I'm gonna leave it
Oh.
at that. But I will say the climax was last week with the like I said, with the dad, freaking out over like one of the stepbrothers blowing a bug out of
Yeah.
the
Yeah.
other
Yeah. Yeah.
stepbrother's eye and assumed that they were like
It got real
kissing when that
homophobic
was not
fast.
happening. It got homophobic really fast. And then we find out why, and what happened was really tragic for sure. And now it's like, okay, I still get why he thinks this way, but also it's still very misplaced because that was a very different situation in a very different time. Um, and then the way it ended was, I would say you need to watch it because, and then we could talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
But overall, I'll give it a 7 out of 10. Like I said, if it was Thai, I would probably get a 5 or a 6 because there were certain things that, there was a big missed opportunity there. Um, and yeah, and it makes me question if you could really call this a BL.
Oh.
But I'm not sure if that's the intent or not.
Maybe they can't push too far. Yeah.
Well, there was another Burmese one where they were doing a lot of canoodling. So that's why I'm like, I don't
Yeah.
know
People.
if it's
Yeah.
I don't know what the purpose is.
Comfortability of the actors or
Right. Right. And
production
unless
or.
I get more information, right now it's gonna be a 7. And we'll go from
Mhm.
there. Speaking of which, some new shows. We got some new shows to talk about. We'll try to get through them a little quickly. Luckily there's only 2. So the 2 new shows that are out, one that are coming out is Kimjira, which is coming out Saturday, August 9th on IG.
Another Jumanji show. Everyone's.
Yes, and I've been waiting for this
It's spooky
show.
ooky
I've
though.
been
Spooky
waiting.
ooky.
It's spooky ooky, and I love the spooky and the ooky. I love all of that. I know you kind of don't, but maybe you'll
I'll
watch
watch
it.
the
Maybe
first
you'll get
episode, yeah.
scared. Yeah, you'll get scared. You're gonna close your eyes. You're gonna be like this the
I
whole
will
time.
peeking through my
So,
fingers.
right,
Yeah.
you're gonna be like that. But it's August 9th, Saturdays, on iQIYI.
ITV.
And then the other show is Rearranged, which we did talk about last week because we did see the trailer to it at Timeless Thai Taste when it here in New York. So anyone who went to any of the Timeless Thai Taste in the US saw this trailer for Rearranged. And it also comes out um actually Monday, August 11, and it will air on Mondays on iQIYI as
Is it
well.
ITV or
Um
WeTV? Okay,
iQIYI.
ITV.
Yeah, which is very interesting because Shine is on WeTV.
Yeah.
So
Speaking of Shine,
it's yeah. Speaking of Shine, shines
thanks
bright
for
like a
waiting, y'all.
diamond.
This podcast is
Thanks for
long.
waiting because this is a long one. We had a lot to talk about.
um,
So let's get to our first impressions of Shine. So Shine is shining in my life. Is it shining in yours, Jonathan?
shine bright like a diamond.
Diamond.
Hey, diamond. Shine bright like this show was a lot, but
Oh yes, the first episode had a
the
lot
show
going on.
was
Can you read the synopsis?
yes. We need a
please?
synopsis because that was a lot to digest.
Mhm.
Okay. A tale of love and ideals unfolds in an era resistant to diversity set against the backdrop of the political turmoil of 1969 to 1971. Trin, a
Mm.
principled economist, collides with Tanwa, a free-spirited hippie, when they encounter Moira, an extravagant widow who lives far beyond the boundaries of freedom. Their lives take an unpredictable turn. That's it.
Mm. I
Um,
like they kept it short.
yeah, they kept it short. I was like, there was so many other side stories going on with that too.
Sure were.
Yeah, this well already like you can see the money that was put into this first episode. You can see
As
the
you
money,
know, with Beyond Cloud, they don't skimp when it comes
and
to
they got
money.
that Ministry of E-commerce, that Thai
They
Ministry
have
money.
that's because you know what? If Beyond Cloud is if anyone is going to be, you know, really promoting this soft power of Thailand, it should be Beyond Cloud because
Because they
they
got the
have
eye.
they have the I and the T. They
Mm.
are it, okay? And they have that special sauce that the other ones, are still trying to mix together. You
Ooh,
know what I'm saying?
ooh.
So, but this one they got it. It has the spice, it has
Spice
money,
Apple. Money Mile.
it has the juice, it has the cum, it has all
Whoa,
of it.
JJ. Whoa.
Like it has all of it.
um,
Okay?
yeah, this first episode we start out with like the moon landing. We see it's
Mhm.
1969. Everyone's excited for the moon landing. They're at this
Mhm.
like bougie party at the Paradiso Hotel or whatever. And
Yes.
like so much is happening here that I was like, there's things happening inside. Shady business deals are happening
Mhm.
inside. Kids are outside planning
A
a little
big protest.
protest so they
Mhm.
can kind of get their word out while the press is
Mhm.
there for the
Mhm.
event. Um, Oppo is trying to meet with people so he can accept a low key like a nepo position, right? Because his uncle
It
is a colonel in the army, like a well
Yeah,
respected
it's a
colonel.
nepo position that's very capitalist.
Mm-hmm.
And there's a theme in here which this is why y'all need to get in our Discord because people drop tea.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And I almost forgot about this. And this is why I love period pieces, and there are people who are like, why can't they? And this person knows who they are
Ooh,
because
say
okay,
they name. No.
you know who they are too. So I'm not going to put them out on blast today, but I'll tell them to their face again later. But this person asked, like, and I low key think he's trolling, but he said, like, why do they keep making period pieces? Why can't they just make it in today? So I always feel that it is important to know your past so you don't repeat it, right?
Mm,
It is very important. And I think it also informs us, particularly as Americans watching this kind of show, the backdrop of this. Thailand at the time was under a dictatorship that
mm-hmm.
was supported by the US government. And during the Cold War, the US government supported a lot of dictators that were not communist, regardless of how bad or ruthless they were to the people. in the effort to promote democracy. So you see the hypocrisy there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So I think these things are really important for us to see to understand how large the US reach is and how destructive it can be. Luckily for Thailand, like at least currently, they're not in that same place anymore, but it really did a lot to those kind of things have generational trauma,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So, and these are things that people need to think about. So, it's great that they're bringing up this time period between 1969 and 1971. And I was trying to remember, I was like, why are these groups saying down with the capitalists,
Yeah, they're like down with the
in the,
capitalists.
and
Like
I mean,
the
yes,
army's
I
taking our
agree.
land. The army is poisoning our land. We don't need this power plant.
And now we know it's because this was a capitalist dictatorship, which people don't associate capitalism with dictatorship, but honestly,
Everything
anyone can be
has
a,
to do with money. Everything has to do with money.
yeah, anything, right. So there you go. Now you know, like you learn something new about Thailand,
Mm-hmm.
which helps you understand the culture better. So then when you're watching the shows, even in the present day, you have context around
Mm-hmm.
certain
To
behaviors and all
what
of
these
that.
students are fighting for, what Oppo is
Exactly.
getting into since he was away
Right.
for 9 years in Paris
Right.
learning, and had a whole white girlfriend there. I was like, all right, come on. This white woman's so lucky to be acting in this like 30 minutes with Oppo.
Right. And you know what? You know what? They filmed on
They
location.
did. That was
Yes.
Paris, mama. That was
Yes.
France.
It was not and I remember because we were talking about this. So we did have a small like BL Batty watch in person, as you know. Like you couldn't go because I know where you were at, but because you were with the Straits.
I really
But
was.
you know, they were like, "Oh, this was like it wasn't a blue screen." I was like, "No, they filmed on location."
Mm-hmm.
The reason why I know that
Money.
is because I follow Apo on Instagram.
And you saw him wee wee.
Yeah, he was wee weeing all over, all over Europe. Okay,
Uh-huh.
but a lot of times in France, when this was being filmed, and I want to say a lot of this was shot sometime last
Mm.
year. So, so yeah, we know that um Beyond Cloud has that money, and if they're going to do something that involves being in another country, they rather just shoot it on location instead of doing what they did in Enchante, where they had some damn
Ooh,
green
that
screen
was
and
crazy green
oh,
scheme.
some crunch stuff.
Crazy.
So again, Beyond Cloud is going to put money. They're going to put money into stuff,
They're
which
they're,
is
they're
why they
using the
only
money
come out with
wisely, hopefully, because this
yeah,
is
they
really
spend it
well done.
wisely, and
Um,
that's why they don't that's why they only put out one show a year because if you're going to do one show, you better make it really good instead of just pumping out shows, to get views and likes and subscribes.
mhm.
But that's what we're doing anyway.
I can't. But I
Anywho,
think I was surprised. I mean, we got a little bit of everyone's story. They're starting to form these storylines between like I don't even know these actors' names. I forgot all their names.
yeah,
You see like Oppo Trin's
yeah,
uncle, played by Euro, is like this army general, colonel,
mm-hmm,
and then you have some of the students, which is played by the younger kids like Peter, Derby, JJ. I think is a student probably.
no,
Fuai is a
JJ is in a
student.
wig.
Ooh.
JJ was the one in the wig
I,
at
oh,
the
he's
little
a hippie.
hippie
He's a
thing.
hippie. Oh.
Yeah, mm-hmm,
Um, who else? Yeah, some of the younger crowd are the students, and then you
right,
have Mile playing this like hippie musician, but he's
with
also the son
extensions.
of I think that man that they were selling the land to, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, he's the son of the guy that's building this power plant.
mm-hmm,
Um, and we got like a whole weird high LSD moment at the end. Like I was like, what is in this blunt, Kevin?
right.
What are they
I was like,
smoking?
that thing was laced.
It
It was
had to be
definitely
laced. They were
laced.
tripping hard.
That thing was laced. You know it was because I was like, pot does not make people do that. So clearly this thing was laced. And
Pop
then
made you go gay, y'all. You saw that? You saw the way he
yeah,
swerved that
so
white
pot
woman so he can go make out with Mile?
right. This was more of that's why I was like that thing was laced because pot don't do that. It might make you fall asleep, but it's not going.
Mm-hmm.
But my first impression of this show, there's a lot going on. I will say, I'm not 100% sure where this plot is going to take us,
Yeah, what is
which I think
Appo's
is
character going to
typical.
do? What
Right,
did he
which is
do at the
typical
end
for
there?
Beyond
Yeah.
Cloud. Well, I would say with Ken Porch, we kind of knew where it was going after the first episode, but with all the other shows, like Dead Friend Forever in 4 minutes, once you see the first episode, you're like, I don't know where this is going, but I'm in it for the ride. And that's the way I feel with
It
this. Like,
leaves you
something about,
questioning just enough so you can tune in for the next episode. You're like, I need to know
exactly.
more. I need to know more.
Like, now I need to know because there's a lot of things that are unanswered. And also, everything was so beautiful to look at. And we already know somebody, at least somebody, is going to be naked. So, of course, I'm going to keep watching.
I gotta
And
see the
also,
nakedness.
right.
Because someone
And
cheated on their
also,
wife.
and someone is cheating. I was going to say that I am 100% sure that
That army general man.
that Trent's uncle
Uh-huh.
is a cheater.
Oh, for
He is
sure. He
cheating
was
on
like,
his
fuck
wife,
my wife's
and
anniversary.
he's probably cheating with a man.
But which man? Time
We
will
don't
tell.
know. We'll find
Time will
out.
tell. I hope
Like,
it's
he's
Appo.
cheating.
No, I mean not Appo.
No,
That's his nephew.
that's his nephew. No.
I mean Appo. I hope
And it's definitely not because Apple was talking with his auntie. So no.
no. No,
Like,
not
no.
Appo. I hope it's with I think it's with that reporter man. The one that was taking photos at the event.
It might be.
I think it's with that reporter man, yeah.
Or it might be with somebody else that we haven't seen yet.
Nah, Appo.
Yeah, but it's not Trend because that's
That's
incest.
wild.
And
Dr.
I don't
Trend,
think
that's
Beyond
Dr.
Cloud
Trend
does
to you.
incest. Okay, like they don't do that. Like they have boundaries. They're not like the Taiwanese BLs where there's something going a little weird. So,
Oh
anywho, I am looking forward to next week. I'm seated. I'm ready. It's on my watch list. Maybe, because we're going to Six Flags next weekend. Maybe I'll watch it. No, I'm actually driving. So I'll watch it when I get back home. I was going to say I'll watch
We'll
it
watch it at
in the
Six
van.
Flags. Yeah, we'll watch it at Six Flags.
Maybe, because we're going to need a break at some point. So, anyway, before we go, I want to hop into the vault real quick.
The vault?
Real quick. Yes. You know what, Jonathan? Since we're talking about a period piece, I had to go in, and I already talked about the show To Serve With Love. That was with the Sailed Ship Jam film, which I really wish we had more of them. I miss them.
R.I.P.
That ship is sailed out and never coming back. So I don't know why this made me think of this, because I guess because of Memorati, which was somewhat in a similar time frame, give or take 20 years. One of the wives in that was using her assistant to make potions as a part of her hiding her son's gayness.
Anti-gay potions?
Not in that sense. That's why I need you to watch the show.
Okay.
Like, it's that show, like I told you, it's very Lacorn.
I know, I need to, but Thailand needs to stop. Japan needs to slow down.
It's so funny. We were saying Japan needs to slow down now, and literally last month we were like, where's the shows?
It was like, where's the shows?
nothing.
And then they dropped 7 at once. And I'm like, slow down.
Because there's a new one that I think is coming out next week, which we didn't even talk about. But there's more coming out.
I can't breathe.
Right. And with that said, we gotta go. That is it for this episode of RyCanTopMyKnee. I'll get on my knees to top a Poe. Have you tried that position before, by the way, Jonathan?
Ooh, excuse you. Oh my God. When does Sabrina Carpenter, have you tried this one? All right. So hope the Ryan, you're like, smoke your kneecaps off.
Oh, I don't want that. Alrighty.
Come on,
y'all.
Whitney.
Bye.
Bye.